There are several types of quality incidents that can arise in the course of normal operations, and Merit for Life Science helps you define standards for how each type of incident is handled and tracks each incident with full transparency and control. Historically, when an incident occurs, it gets recorded, then handed to the quality team who investigates, corrects, and establishes preventative measures for the future, documenting all the steps along the way. Imagine the agility and power your company would have if the rest of the organization had transparency into incidents of different types, such as quality audits, complaints, nonconformances, or deviations that are tied to batch records, lots, vendors, production equipment, and employees, as well as incidents related to one another. Ultimately, this information will result in audit reporting and corrective action, preventative action. Ideally, the value spreads even farther within the organization. Here's a couple of examples of how this might work. An engineer who identifies an equipment deviation can immediately look it up and see an incident trend tied to that equipment, speeding the investigation and correction. The materials manager who's negotiating with the vendor can look at incident history to better negotiate price, impact the determination on vendor qualification or recertification. A production supervisor sees the root cause of the issue lies with an employee who may need more training or may need repurposing and works with HR to build the appropriate plan. Merit for Life Science Quality Incident Management will give you visibility needed to leverage all this data to grow your organization across multiple departments while achieving the following: the compliance to standardized standard operating procedures while helping you achieve the appropriate levels of vigilance and compliance with the regulations. The transparency for all quality issues, including who's responsible and who's taking actions, as means that can help you identify bottlenecks. By making quality incident data visible to a broader audience, you are enabling more effective corrective action and preventative action prioritization across the entire organization. And finally, the ability to leverage the information gathered to optimize the rest of the organization's processes. As an example of deeply integrated benefits, let's look at how the quality incident information might reform and influence the process of working with your key vendors. I'm trying to assess the overall performance of my vendors. Which vendors do I need to spend more time with? Which vendors I do not need to worry about? This Power BI report helps me set priorities about the possibilities of having vendors which I need to engage more closely with, or maybe even consider for retiring. This is the dashboard that shows me which vendors are my biggest source of concern. Regardless of which vendor is at the top of the heap or bottom of the heap, I do need to sign new contracts with this one vendor. Let's see if I have any issues with this 1001 biotech X vendor that need to get resolved before I'm prepared to sign a new contract, negotiate new terms, or extend their approval status. We have 4 nonconformances logged for this vendor. Once all the required process steps are completed, we can submit the nonconformance for approval and close it. The NCR report is easy to generate, and it gives us complete information regarding the steps taken and is also reinforced with an electronic signature audit trail. While there are passionate discussions about the pros and cons of having your quality incident information available across your organization instead of within your quality team, there are strong arguments for allowing that visibility to your process engineers and key individuals in supply chain and manufacturing departments because of the breadth of impact this knowledge has on operations. That same knowledge may eventually drive machine learning and artificial intelligence to help you anticipate and correct quality incidents before they even happen.